Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I know that this start of the school year has been quite an interesting one and probably something new for all of us educators. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 5 years or 25 years, but I'm so excited that you took some time out of your busy schedule to join me in this session on working smarter, not harder with technology. So I'm just going to get us kicked off right away, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can start our presentation. I am looking forward to this being interactive, so I am going to have some assignments for you to do as we go throughout this, which you'll see are easy and engaging. So real quick, here's our agenda. We'll do a quick bell ringer, and these are the apps that we're going to be looking at today and kind of diving into, and then we'll do a little ticket out at the end of our session. Okay, so in the chat box for me, this is going to be your bell ringer. I would just like you to write what you teach, so what subject you teach and how long you have been teaching. So if you could put that in the chat box, I would appreciate it. Hi, Tiffany Hoy. Nice to see a familiar name. Wow. Wow, we have a whole slew of experts in this room. Public safety, commercial art, English, math, health occupations, HVAC, learning support, childcare, sports exercise rehabilitation and therapy. Cool. Awesome. Wow. Looks like a lot of you are probably more qualified to hold this session than I am. I'm so pleased that all of you are here, and all of these years and expertise. When we get to the end, I'm sure we're going to have some great examples on how to utilize this in our lessons. Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Mechatronics engineering. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad to see so many people from so many different disciplines. That's going to make our conversations really fun today and interesting. Maybe we can all learn something new. So the first one that I want to talk about is Gimkit. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's very similar to Kahoot, which you've probably played or you may have used or seen in some other type of PD. So Gimkit is an interactive review game with multiplayer options. So you can upload already made Quizlets directly to Gimkit, and it will completely create it for you in seconds. The free version only gives you 3 Gimkits that you can create. However, they do have a pro plan that you can pay for $5 a month, which they bill you annually. And then you can have unlimited Gimkits. So I'm going to just take you to some of my Gimkits. So for example, photosynthesis. And so almost all of these Gimkits that you see have been created through Quizlet. So these are Quizlets that I already had or that I borrowed from somebody else. And then all I did was just upload them into Gimkit and it created this. So I'm just going to show you what playing live looks like. You can also assign it for homework, which is really great for those virtual days. So we're going to do classic mode. Here you can do timing it. Excuse me. So you can say, as maybe a warm up right before a quiz or a test, you have 10 minutes and go ahead and play Gimkit and try and earn as much money as you can. You can have the students race each other, or you can do all in, which is you come up with a set number of dollars and everybody together in the class contributes to that goal. And so as soon as you hit whatever that goal is that you set, the game will end. There's a bunch of other options in here. So music, clapping, answer check so that they can see what they got wrong, which I do recommend if you're using this as a review. So when you play, your screen looks like this. You can go ahead and go to gimkit.com, enter this code, and then all of the questions are going to come up. You can start the game. And when you start the game, the questions will pop up, and it looks very similar to Kahoot. So it has the answers there, and they select on which one of the 4 answers is correct. But the cool thing about GimKit is that's a little bit different than our Kahoot is you actually can spend your money on power-ups. So if a student has $5,000 because they answered the questions right, then they're going to be able to buy a power up. So then every question that they answer might be worth $20 extra. Or they could freeze out an opponent, which means they could choose an opponent in the class and they get froze for 10 seconds. So then they can't answer any more questions. So it's a really fun interactive race competition. And my students absolutely love it. They love it. They think it is so much fun. And when they play, if we are together, I always kind of commentate, kind of like, you know, a sports announcer, which gets them even more anxious and worked up because, you know, I'm saying, oh my gosh, you just lost. You went back to second place. Where are you? What are you doing? And it's quite fun. You can also assign it for homework. So this is your option if you have a lot of virtual learners. So you can add your class, you can add a due date, you can put the target. So this is how much they have to make before they can end the game. You click create assignment. You'll just copy this link and you'll send it out to your students. And then you'll get notifications and you'll be able to see what they answer, what questions most students are getting wrong. You'll be able to see all of the data at the end of your GimKit if you choose to share it for homework. If you play live, once the screen is done, it will not automatically show the statistics for the questions. So you can keep that in confidence. And then later on, you can download the report so you can see what students answered what questions correctly and which ones they did not. So it'll give you a little preview as to what maybe you need to hit a little harder the next time or review with them again before the test. All right, so let's go back to the next one. Tiff, what do you mean with Canvas? Okay, Tiff, you can get back to me on that because I'm not sure what you mean by does it work with Canvas, but I can answer that once I have a little bit more information. This is another screen I want to take you to. So I don't know about your school district or what your administrators are asking you to do, but for us, they want us to post a daily agenda. They want to see bell ringers and ticket outs for every class. And so I found this really cool website called Classroom Screen. And you can actually create this screen. And how I do it is I just leave this up on my board all the time. Or you can do it, and just like I did right here, you can make it and take a screenshot of it, and then you can post it if you're working with students virtually. But it's really awesome because it has all of these different tools that you can use. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to go to Classroom Screen right now, so I can just show you some of the things that it does. I already have it up here. So the background you can change. They have some preloaded pictures. You can also upload your own pictures if you like, which is kind of fun if you wanted to use a Bitmoji or something like a virtual classroom. You're more than welcome to do that. You can just use regular colors, or over here, these are GIFs on the right-hand side here. So these actually move. It takes a second for the background to change, but it will move, which is kind of calming for the students when they're staring at it. So if you click on random name, you can go ahead and put in all of your students' names in the class, and then you can click choose. And that'll be if you want to do like random presenters. So who's going to present first? And this is just a fun way. So, you know, you're not picking it. The kids aren't picking it. It's just randomly selected. And once you pick a name, it will not pick that name again. You can do a QR code. So this you can put any link you want in here, and the kids can scan that and go to a different link. Oh, there's the moving background now. You can draw. So it's an interactive whiteboard if you'd like it to be. You can add a text box, so you can type anything that you want in here, which is what on my PowerPoint where you saw the bell ringer and agenda and the ticket out. I just put it in here, and then you can change the colors. You can add emojis. You can make it really fun and interesting. And then, to get these to go away, you just have to hit the X down here at the bottom on the toolbar, and they'll go away and return to normal. There's work symbols. So if you are working with students with IEPs and they like to see some visual cues, these are really great visual cues. So you click silent. This is silent work. So we are not working with a partner. There is no collaboration, or we're whispering, ask a neighbor for help, and then work together for collaboration time. There's also a stoplight, so red, yellow, and green. If you have them working on the clock, you can put yellow on when they're getting up to about a minute or 2 minutes to the end of their work time, and a red is drop your pencils and let's move on. There's also a timer and a regular clock. So this is just so much fun. You can do a lot of really neat things with it. And there's no way to save this as far as saving the screen where you can go back and edit it. So you'll have to do one of two things. You'll have to take a screenshot to save it, or you can just leave this tab open. For me, I leave the tab open because I never really shut down my computer, which probably isn't a good thing. But I leave it open, and it's there day after day after day. So just keep that in mind, that there is no way to really save it. Are there any questions about GimKit? Or
Brittany, there were a number of there's a whole conversation about
in the chat box, I see.
About GimKit and Canvas going back and forth. Remember when it doesn't seem to interface, but there might be some ways around that with copying and pasting links.
Yes. So for GimKit, I understand. Tiff, I don't use Canvas. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that was a platform. So we use Schoology, and I also use Brightspace and Play-Doh for some of my college classes. So it's easy if you create an assignment and just put it in as a link. You can just copy the link for either the live session or for the assign the homework. You just put the link in there and they'll click on it, they'll put their name, and they can log in with the school email address, or they can play as a guest, just in case your kids have some issues or your school has issues with them using private emails. Classroom Screen is free. There's no catch to this whatsoever. You literally just put in classroomscreen.com and you can do whatever you like. How do you move Quizlet over? So let me show you that real quick. Pull it back up here. Okay, so if I'm in my GimKit and I click New Kit, type it in here, cellular respiration. I'm just gonna pick random. You can upload photos and make it more personal, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna kind of do it quickly. So here, there's a plethora of options to add questions. So you can add questions manually. You can create with some flashcards, continue with Kit Collab, add from a bank, which would be one of your other kits that you would have is where that add bank would come from. Or you can import from a spreadsheet if you already have it on Excel maybe. So what I'm going to do is click with flashcards, and I'm going to import my flashcards. So I have that screen, and I'm going to go over to Quizlet. And I'm not going to log in here. I'm just going to search real quick, and I'll show you. So on Quizlet, then you are going to find the one that you want. So let's just say that it's this one. Oh, this make me buy the set. Hold on. Let me go to my Quizlet. Okay, so let's say it's this one. So Cell Organhouse. So when you're down here, you have these different options, adding, copying, whatever. So click on these 3 dots to expand it, and then click on export. And it's gonna pop all these up right here. So just click in here and copy it, or you can just click copy text and it'll copy everything. Just go back to your GimKit and paste it, create, it's done. That's it. And then you can finish the kit and you can play. Did that help answer your question, Ruth? So unfortunately with that one, you do have to have both open at the same time. So with Quizlet, you do have to have that open and GimKit. So then all you have to do is copy the text and then paste it into the GimKit that you created. And of course you can edit it. So if there's a couple things in there that you don't like or you don't want, you can edit and change it, add a photo, add audio, do whatever you'd like after it's in GimKit. Okay. All right, so there's GimKit and Classroom Screen. So you can just do a lot of really awesome things with this, and it's just fun and eye-catching for your students. Flipgrid is the next one that I want to talk about. So Flipgrid I found is really great for students, specifically with students that have learning disabilities. So if they're not really awesome with written communication, this is a great way to allow them to do, to explain something in a verbal setting. You can completely do this at home. And Flipgrid, you can actually create classes, you can add students to classes, so you can get really complex into Flipgrid. I, however, don't do that. So I do not create classes or add students to it. I just create topics. So for instance, one thing that we did a couple weeks ago is squaring lumber. And so and these are all of my GimKits here. So if I click on squaring lumber, I made the title, I wrote here the instructions, then you share, here's the join code. And then what the students do is they create a video. So of course he's talking while it's running, so it's hard to hear. But this is just a short how-to video. So it tells you who uploaded it, and then you can comment on any and all students as well. In these GimKits, you're actually able to add text overlay, and you can add different images and things like that into it. So it's kind of a simplified version of iMovie, but there is a time limit. So when you create the GimKit, when you create the Flipgrid, you set the time. So if you want them to answer it within 3 minutes, then you set the 3-minute timer. So let me go home here. So this is my home. So if I click add a new topic, here's where I would go. I'd put in my title. I'd put any type of information, directions, what I want them to do. And then here's my timers. So this is where I'll select how long they can go. And then there's a lot of other things. So for instance, in here, you can make it private or public. So if you make it public, all they need is that code. So anybody can do it, and you don't have to go in and set up classes and enter the student emails. You just give them the code and they can access it and start videotaping and recording their GimKits. Are there any questions about, I keep saying GimKit, are there any questions about Flipgrid? So Flipgrid is just a short little movie. It's a simplified iMovie that students can upload videos, how-to videos, maybe explaining how to do intravenous injections, anything like that. And this is a really good thing to do when you are at home. If your kids are virtual, this is easy. It's free. They can log into it. They don't need to sign up and do any kind of trials or put in their personal information, nothing like that. They click on the link and go. So Steph, GimKit, if you're using the free version, you can only upload 3 GimKits. Oh, okay. So questions already answered. Sorry. Okay, so that's Flipgrid. Flipgrid is completely free. You can have as many Flipgrids, as many assignments as you want, and it doesn't cost you anything. Yes, Michael, it can be shared and downloaded. So if I go, just gonna go back here. So let me see here. Get my chat box out of the way. So, if you want, for instance, what I like to do is find like the best examples. And so when I give an assignment, I always show this is an A example. So if you find one in your GimKits that you really like, you can activate it or hide it. So if it's inappropriate, you can hide it. By the way, I forgot to share that. You can share it. So it's going to give you the link. And once you get this link, then you can save that. You can share it with anybody you want. You can share it with other students. And you can even make students go in here. And once the views are in, you can go in and students can actually comment on each other's as well, which is kind of nice. And then here under actions, so you can edit responses. So as the teacher, if somebody makes an inappropriate comment, you can edit it or hide it. You can move it, duplicate responses, and here's your download video. So you can actually download it and save it to your computer if you wanted to save it to like your Google Drive for next year as an example. Tiffany, that I don't think so. When you're making it, I don't think that you can make it where each one is private. At least I haven't found a way to do that yet. But you can go in and delete and hide responses as soon as you see it. So it'll still be in there, but nobody else will be able to see that. I think, let me start a new one. For how long, I'm sorry, the question is how long can you video? I think it said 30. I always stay around the 3 minutes. Up to 10. So you can go up to 10 minutes, assign a video. And then down here, once you do your assignment and you create it, you can also link media to it. So if you're asking them, a how-to video, you could, show them a link on YouTube, or you could record a video yourself that would be introducing the topic to them. So Flipgrid, and somebody in the comments said it's great in a pinch. It really is. It takes 2 seconds to set up. It takes, no time at all. It takes no time at all to go through and look at them, especially if you make your time limit shorter. Now, if you do a 10-minute video, it's going to take you a lot longer, obviously, to watch all of them and get through them. But it's really awesome in a pinch. It's great on those flexible instruction days when, it's a snow day and all of a sudden you have to change all of your plans. This is a really great assignment to put in there. Oh, there you go, Michael. Yes, you can, Nalik. Perfect. So Tiff, Michael found a way. You go to topic moderation. New videos and comments will be hidden from students until you activate them. Awesome. Thank you. Are there any more questions about Flipgrid? Okay. All right. So I want to talk about Mentimeter. Mentimeter, so this one is, it's a fun kind of interactive, I like to think of it as kind of a polling system or collecting responses in a real-time manner. So when you, and this is just a screenshot of a presentation that I made for another conference that I did. So if you go to Mentimeter, the only thing with this is you can create as many presentations as you want for free. So if you choose the free version, you can create as many as you want, but you only have 4 slides that you can use. So the maximum amount of slides that you can use in Mentimeter for free is 4. However, normally this is something that you present in lieu or with something else. So just like I'm giving this presentation on PowerPoint, I'm going to go to this and we're going to work through this together. So it's one of those things where you normally don't use this only by itself. So I would really appreciate it if everybody could go to menti.com and go ahead and put this code in, 6595374, because I want you to see what it looks like on the student side and then what it'll look like when we share it out. So if everybody could go to menti.com, 6595374, and then I'm going to show you the slides that I created just for us so you can see both the student side and the instructor side. Oh, and somebody found the like button at the bottom. Those you can customize, and I'm going to show you how to do those things in a second. Oh, everybody's hitting the likes. Awesome, awesome. So I know that you're there. I know we're on. So I'm going to go ahead to our next slide. So, oh, this is right this session. So we're not going to do this right now. Don't do this right now. Hold on a second. But this is what we'll do at the end of our session. And then you'll be able to see what it looks like in as it accumulates all the data. And then down here, you can hide the results. So if you do a poll where you collect them and you collect maybe an open-ended answer, maybe it's kind of personal, maybe you're asking a question that you don't want everybody to know everybody's answer, you can just hit hide results and it's going to collect them. You're just not going to see them being collected until you close this presentation, and then you'll be able to see all of the data, and I'm going to show you that in a second as well. Okay, so let's go here real quick. So switch up the codes for me. Sorry. Go to 344842 and give me a heart when you're there. 344842. Give me a heart when you're there. Okay, everybody's getting there. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when we do start to accumulate responses here. So here it should pop up a screen on your phone that lets you type in some of the struggles that you've been having this year with virtual learning. Life. Hello. So there you can see what it's like. You're typing it in. You can give the students the option you can limit their responses to 1, or you can open it up and then they can add more than 1 response. So that's an option that you have. And the way this looks, you can change that as well. I'm going to show you a different way to show the data on the next screen. So you scroll through and you can see all of these responses. Again, you can hide those results if it's something personal. You can go ahead and click on this lock at the bottom, and we're going to lock the voting so nobody else can go ahead and put in their answers. So this is, go ahead and enter in what do you think when you hear of technology, and this is going to be a word cloud, so this is going to show the data in a little bit of a different way. So what do you think when you hear technology? Go ahead and put in a word for me. So you can kind of see as each of you are putting in your things, it's doing that word cloud where it's calculating. So the bigger the word is, that means the more people actually put in the words computers. So computers looks like is what most of you think of when you hear technology. And again, I can hide those and I can close the voting. So as we're putting that in, I'm going to go ahead and close the voting. Thank you. And I'm going to exit out. And so now I'm just going to show you real quick. So when you're looking at this, you have these options over here on the right. And actually, let me create a new one so you can see what it looks like. And then I'll go back there in 1 second. So if you click on new presentation name, so this would be, your title slide. So you can choose from anything over here on the right. So normally I just pick a header and you can type in here the heading, the subheading, and here's where you can add reactions. So I have a heart on that first one just so I know the students are there, but you can add questions, thumbs up, thumbs down, or a cat. I don't know really what the cat is for, but you can click on themes and you can kind of change the background color if you'd like. Then you can add a new slide. And let's say that I want you to do a scale. So what does this scale say? And this is one that I did for the end of this. You can change the way it looks. So it can be in a bar or a slider, or it can look like a spider. Then you can change all of these things. So there's a lot of different things that you can kind of manipulate here. You can add a photo to it if you'd like, all kinds of really cool stuff. You want to add an image, you can just put the image up there, caption it, you can center it, use it as a background. Again, you can add any of these reactions on the bottom for your students. So this Mentimeter is really easy to make. These are quick, and it really helps with kind of getting students together and having them interact. And so you can see a their real-time reactions, their real-time thoughts. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, I just want to show you data. Okay, so this was the one that we just did. So all of that data that we just did, what we put in here is all saved. So you can save this by downloading the results. So let's say I want to use this. I teach 2 large animal science classes a day, but I want to use this one for both of those, but I would like to save the results because I have maybe some polling questions, review questions in there. So you can download those results and save them. Takes a little bit to load here. So you can export it, download whichever one you want. So like this title slide, I don't need to download because I don't have any information, but the struggles I do. And these are the different pages. So you can download everything that you need. And then when you want to reset your presentation, so get rid of those responses so you can see the next period, you just click reset results and it'll clear those results, but you'll already have it downloaded and saved so you can review that later. Are there any questions about Mentimeter? Okay. All right. The next one that I want to show you is Weebly. Weebly is a free website creator. It has a lot of flexibility and the formatting is really easy. So I've looked at a lot of different online portfolio websites, and some of them are just a little bit more in depth than what I wanted to get into with my students. For me personally, I have my own website for my teaching. So I have each of my classes and then all of my units underneath so my students can access some different resources. However, I also use this for my Nocti task list items. So what the students do is they create their own Weebly webpage, and then they go in and they put either videos, pictures, assessments, whatever it is, showing that they have competently completed each of the task list items. For me, it's horticulture. And then so this is kind of works twofold. So number one, it's really awesome for 339 audits. And number two, this is something that the students can keep with them forever. So it's kind of like a digital resume. So if they do want to go in the field of horticulture, they can show their future employers all of these tasks and skill sets that they know, and they have proof that they know them. So that's the one thing I kind of like about Weebly is that it's there, it's a digital portfolio that they can keep going to and updating. Allie, yes, you can. All you have to do is copy the link, and instead of being able to see the results accumulate that way because you don't have it up, you'll see it later when you download results. So for 339, when you're talking about task list items, for us personally, now remember I'm an agriculture teacher. Oh, you want to no, I'm not going to, sorry, I'm not going to show you a current student just because of privacy, and I didn't ask for their permission. So I'm not going to share their website, but I can kind of show you how it's set up. So each one of these tabs is going to be a different topic within our task list. And I can show you, I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Sorry, my computer's being a little slow here. As you see, don't mind my craziness in my Google Drive, sorry. So this is from my task list. All of your task lists will look different. And this is mandated by the state and what we do for the NOCTI exam. So you can see how each one is kind of divided into, it's in categories. So the first one is safety. So the students will have their home page, which will introduce themselves and who they are. Then this first one will say safety. And then under each one, they'll label it. I'll go back here. They'll label it with 101. And then here, I don't have them write all of this for the title because titles shouldn't be that long. So 101 will just be laboratory safety. And then they'll upload a picture, an assessment, whatever we're doing to teach that or to assess it, they'll upload and put on there. And then they just go through, and that's how I do it for all of them. So under safety, they're gonna have 5 tabs. So if they click on safety, that drop down will be 5 of these, and each one they can click on. Or I also let them set it up where if you click on the main tab, they can have all of it right there. So if it's something shorter, like safety with only 5 task list items, they can just have it all on the safety page without having to have individual tabs. So I give them a template. So when we sit down together to do this as their assignment, I pop it up. I let them pick the template that they want, the background they want, how, the design, but then the tabs, I tell them, these are your 2 options. You can do it this way or this way. Because I do want there to be some uniformity within everybody, because it makes it easier for me to navigate and to find it. So really, it's kind of a selfish reason that I I do the layout for them, or I make them do my layout. But if you wanted to give them the freedom, then they could make whatever they wanted. I just don't do that. So that's Weebly. Weebly is free. You never have to pay for Weebly, and it lasts forever. As a matter of fact, this particular one, now of course I've edited it, but I started this in 2013. So this website has been up and running since 2013, still here. So, and I've never paid anything on Weebly. I'm going to move along. I'm going to skip the brain break because we don't have much time left. But I do want to show you, if you can see my screen, because of staring at a computer and sitting at your desk, maybe going through these virtual things, I have all of these brain break ideas, and they're color coded depending on what they do. So some is mind, some is body, some is flexibility. But I normally have the students pick this, and we just go through and we do it. And it's something fun. It's a little engaging. It gets them up and moving, and gets their eyes off of the screen for a little bit. So this was the brain break I was going to have you do, but y'all have been asking such great questions that we don't have time to do that. But I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so Powtoon, again, I have looked at a lot of different screencasting apps or resources, and Powtoon is the easiest one that I found, because probably like most of you, I already have a lot of my lessons and my presentations done. And Powtoon's really nice because you can just upload an already existing PowerPoint and then talk over it. So when you're on those virtual days, or you have a flexible instruction day and you don't necessarily have the ability to be on Zoom all the time, the whole duration of the class, you can just upload, whatever presentation you already have done, and then talk over it and add what you would say if you were really in class. So this is one that I had done just as it's loading, just as like a little example. Takes a little bit to load. So you can either create your own. So here I'm creating my own. I can add grids, I can add screens, text options, videos, pictures, music, whatever it may be. And then I can go ahead and record my voice over top of each slide. So I'm going to show you one that I already had done. And this is free as well. Working on it here. Okay. So this is an engineering one. So this is a PowerPoint that I already had. So I just uploaded it. And I added that little music to it. And you'll hear me talking.
Take a moment and think about what engineering is.
So that was my voice. So you can add your own voice to it. So it's kind of nice. You can share this. This is not something that you have to moderate yourself. You can just post the link on Canvas or Schoology, Play-Doh, whatever you're using, and let them go. All right, and I'm gonna move along. QR codes, these are pretty self-explanatory. If you actually choose to scan this particular QR code, it's going to take you to my employability rubric, which is what I have my students use for their clock out at the end of their shop class. This particular link right here, QR code Monkey, it's really nice because it has all of these options at the top. So you can add a whole bunch of stuff like text. You can have them scan the QR code and it's just text. So if you're using it as a scavenger hunt, you could put directions in there or clues to their next spot. You can change the colors. You can add an image logo. You can customize your design by choosing anything like this. So this Code Monkey is just nice because it has a lot of different options. Again, it is completely free. You can download the code as an image or PDF, any of these things. So there's a lot of versatility within that particular, with the Code Monkey. But again, you can find that anywhere. Amanda, if you want to give me your email address, I can email you the whole list of these. It comes in a paper, so I cut them and put them on the popsicle sticks, but I can email them to you. Wendy, you do not have to add students to the GimKit. So that's, Wendy, when you're looking at GimKit, you can just share the code and they do not have to log in. So only if you want, if you're using it as like you're creating your classes, adding the students, then they will have to log in with their email, but they do not have to do that. All right, let's keep going here. So ZipGrade, oh shucks, I thought I had until 10:55, I'm sorry. ZipGrade is really awesome. So here's a screenshot. What I do is, like, for instance, this is my OSHA 30 midterm. So I already had my 50 question test. I had it on hard copy. I had all my multiple choice questions. I didn't want to convert it. I didn't want to upload it and retype everything into Schoology or Canvas or Play-Doh. So I found ZipGrade, and it has been an absolute lifesaver. So I'm going to go here real quick and just show you. So these are all of the quizzes. You can see how many questions I have in each one. When you click on the quiz, it breaks it down for you. So it gives you the score distribution. These are all the student names with their percentages. And then this, even on this side right here, this tells you, okay, question 41, this was the correct answer. A lot of students said this. This is on average about 95% of the students got question 41 right. So there's a lot of really awesome analytics for this that you can save, print out, and it really helps you be reflective on how you're teaching. In ZipGrade, you can create classes. Again, I don't do that. I just, create the quiz and I move on. So how do you create the quiz? So if you go to the answer sheet, you can create a custom one or any one of these. So we'll say 50 questions, and it's going to look just like a Scantron. So that's what it's going to look like. They now have the ability to do it virtually. So when you have this up, you open the app on your iPad, on your phone, whatever it may be, and you'll take a picture of it, and it will grade it for you, and it will save it automatically to your ZipGrade account. So no more running it through the heavy machines or anything like that. It's really nice. So I know that we are on our way out here. So this is just our wrap-up survey. So if you could go to this code, and I'm going to be copying down email addresses that I see in the chat box for those of you that want the brain break. I can also send out this presentation. So if you can go to 6595374. And the last slide here also gives you my contact information. So if you have questions, you can get a hold of me. So if you could go ahead and do this survey, I'd appreciate it. I'll give you some time.
Brittany, as we wrap up, let me just say that make sure everybody understands that the copies of the presentation, and also I would think, Brittany, if you wanted to share the brain, what was the name of it? The brain breaks with the folks at Penn State. They will be happy to make that part of the distribution out after the conference. They will have a website, a place available, and I think everybody will get an email that says that the recordings and the materials are available when they're available. It'll take a little bit of time, a week or two, but they'll all be available. I'm sure you'll be getting a everybody will be getting an email telling them that.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then here's the next one. This was something that I just wanted to do so that we could kind of chat and see how we could incorporate it into each of your lessons. So if you could put some ideas, I can also share this with Penn State so that you can see this as well. And then the last slide here is going to be my contact information, which I'll put up in a second. And then there's my contact information. So please, if you have any questions or maybe you try using this in your classroom and you get stuck, you can always send me an email or shoot me a text message and I would be happy to walk you through it or try and troubleshoot with you. And I believe I got all the email addresses down in the chat box, so I'll make sure I get those sent out to you. And thank you all so much for participating, and I hope this was helpful.